Yeah, morning, gents. It's just nobody cares on the basis that, and we've seen this, it's been a systematic pulling apart of City's achievement by the national media, written and verbal, for years now. And at the end of the day, yes, we've got 115 charges. Nothing has been proven. The whole basis of justice in this country is being completely ignored when it comes to Manchester City. So this weekend, we had the surprise results at the weekend. Great weekend for Man City. Last night, in the Daily Mail, an article appears talking about how much deep water Man City are in because of 115 charges. Not one shred of new information in that article. The timing is not a coincidence.
Yeah, but Lee, stop. You're talking about timing. What everybody in football wants to know is why have the Manchester City charges not been heard?
But Jeff, that's your responsibility in the media to inform yourselves and educate people on that.
Well, you educate us. Educate us now then. Lee, educate us now. Why have they not been heard yet?
Because this is not a simple breach of financial fair play. This is an allegation of a major international, multinational executive and government, by the way, of different countries. Fraud. It is not the same as a simple breach of financial fair play.
But you would accept there's a cloud hanging over City?
Well, of course there is until it gets heard. But at the end of the day, that cloud is being drawn up by the media as much as anybody else. It's your duty as the media to inform people about why. You have financial experts like Stephen Borson who've come on and clearly explained why this takes such a long time, but it doesn't play to the popularist opinion. So you don't regurgitate that. What you do instead, not just you, Jeff, I'm not saying this is the media in general, is you talk about, well, why hasn't it been heard? Why hasn't it been heard? It's been explained why it hasn't been heard. And it is going to be heard, but it takes time.
But you understand when Stephen, who admittedly is a Manchester United fan, for instance, comes on and says, you are buying time to wait for new rules.
No, the new rules, because, again, it's uneducated. The new rules, if a new law came in today, but I broke the law 5 years ago, I would be tried according to the old law. At the end of the day, so that it doesn't make any difference about the new rules whatsoever. We've already been charged. We already have to answer those charges. Like Everton and Forest have already been punished for the financial fair play rules that are in now. It will not change that the rules change next year. But the media has a responsibility to educate people on it, because people are talking and making assessments and making judgments. Nobody believes City are entitled to a fair hearing here. Everybody has already decided that we are guilty and we should be relegated.
Brilliant, Lee. You made the point really well. Well done, mate.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks for your call. What a big surprise. Anti-City for the second. We're in pole position for the title. Shocking red shirt station. Absolutely ludicrous. We just had a City fan on putting the point on Manchester City's behalf. However, I suspect that Brad, who's a Manchester United fan, is going to have a very different view. Morning, Brad.
Would that be the case, Brad?
Morning, guys. Morning.
Morning.
Just to say, it's probably a controversial opinion. As you said, I'm a United fan, so I hate them both equally. But I would say from the footballing community, Liverpool's Premier League title actually means more than City's treble last year. The reason I say that is because it's an original club that's come from its own successes, whereas City's a manufactured club, very similar to Chelsea. It's had money ploughed in. The successes have all come very recently since the money came in. So people aren't really that invested in them as a football institution. On the back of that as well, with the alleged charges, just so we appease Lee, I think it's a really hard pill to swallow for the football community again, that you see the likes of Everton's, Forest getting points taken off them, and it's still this cloud hanging over City. So until that's cleared, I don't think they're going to get probably the kudos that they feel like they deserve. But yeah, I mean, it's predominantly because it's a hugely manufactured club that's had loads of money ploughed into it. There is no history. There is no, the big battles between Arsenal and United back in the day, the big battles between Liverpool and Everton when Everton used to be good. You've got none of that with it.
Well, thanks very much indeed for the call. And just reflecting exactly that, Brad, Rob, the Huddersfield fan, says, it's not about the charges for me. It's how boring it is when you get to winning everything in the way they do. The elation felt by the real fans when Dickov and Nicky Weaver were winning that playoff will have felt a million times better than strolling to another league title or FA Cup. It feels like the corporate win versus a Roy of the Rovers win. You know, one thing I would say is this always happens, and City fans, you know, get used to it because Manchester United fans and Liverpool fans have got used to it over the years. When you get to the top of the tree, there will always be somebody who wants to shake that tree and make sure you fall out of it, and that's the situation at the moment. One thing I do think, Ali, people say City I've had people say City are boring.
No,
goodness sake. You've got Kevin De Bruyne, Erling Haaland, Phil Foden, David Silva. That is not boring, not in a million years.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.